You're overreacting again, Anna. My dad muttered without glancing up from his newspaper as I bent over the kitchen sink, feeling my breakfast threaten to come back up. My stepmother, Deanna, rested a seemingly gentle hand on my back, her concern looking more like a performance than genuine care. Maybe you should skip school today, she suggested in syrupy tones. I'll make my special tea, it always helps stomach aches. The thought of drinking anything she prepared made my stomach turn harder. This had been happening for months, ever since Deanna moved in after a whirlwind wedding to my dad. Every meal she cooked left me sick, lightheaded, and sometimes unconscious. No, I said, straightening and wiping my mouth. I have a chemistry test. I can't miss it. I had been packing my own lunches lately, and mysteriously, I never got sick on those days. Deanna's eyes narrowed just slightly, though her smile stayed glued in place. Such dedication, she purred, turning to my dad. Isn't she amazing, Robert? He only grunted, still absorbed in the paper. Since the wedding 6 months ago, he'd barely looked at me. It was as if I'd been traded away for his new wife, just an unwelcome relic from his old life. I slung my backpack over my shoulder and made for the door, my legs unsteady but my will solid. Just as I reached for the handle, Deanna called out. Wait, I made you a smoothie to take with you. Extra protein for your episodes. She held out a travel mug, her manicured nails clicking against the metal. There was something in her eyes that made my skin prickle. Thanks, but I'm late. I lied, practically bolting out the door. Behind me, her voice floated to my dad about how ungrateful I was, followed by his quiet agreement that cut deeper than I'd admit. At school, Olivia took one look at me and frowned. You look awful, she said, pulling me aside. Anna, this isn't normal. How long are you going to pretend nothing's wrong? I slumped against the lockers, drained. What am I supposed to do? Every time I tell my dad I'm sick, he says I'm being dramatic. And Deanna acts. I stopped, unwilling to say it out loud. She's poisoning you, Olivia finished flatly. We both know it. You only get sick when you eat her food. When you're at my place or eating your own meals, you're fine. That's insane, I whispered, though my pulse was racing. Is it? She's the only thing standing between her and your dad's inheritance from your mom. Remember how interested she got when she found out about the trust you get at 18. My mom had passed away 3 years ago, leaving a sizable inheritance locked until I turned 18, just 6 months away. Dad had control until then, but couldn't touch the principal. Unless something happened to me. I've been keeping track, Olivia said, pulling out her phone. Dates, what you ate, how bad it was. Even pictures. You've dropped 15 pounds in 2 months, Anna. This isn't in your head. Looking at the photos, I barely recognized myself. Pale, gaunt, dark circles making me look older than I was. When had it gotten this bad? We need proof, I said at last, my voice trembling. Not just guesses. My aunt's a nurse at County General. She's on shift today. Let's skip chemistry and get you tested. If she's poisoning you, it'll show. The idea of missing my test made my stomach knot, but not as much as the thought of going home to another of Deanna's dinners. I nodded. 2 hours later, I was sitting in an exam room while Olivia's aunt filled vials with my blood. She didn't ask many questions, but her face grew darker as Olivia listed my symptoms. We'll have the results in a few hours, she said, labeling the last tube. I'm marking this urgent. Anna, do you have somewhere safe to stay tonight? The question made my blood run cold. Even she thought I might be in danger. She can stay with me, Olivia said quickly. My mom's fine with it. I texted Dad that I was staying over to study. His reply came instantly. Diana's making her famous pot roast. Come home for dinner. A second buzz. This time from Deanna. Don't disappoint your father. Family dinner is important. I made it especially for you. Reading her message, a chill slid down my spine. For the first time, I let myself fully face what I'd known all along. My stepmother was trying to kill me. And my father couldn't, or wouldn't see it. We'll know soon, Olivia's aunt said, patting my hand. Try to rest. But rest was impossible. All I could do was sit there, trapped in the waiting room, while Olivia paced. My phone lit up with message after message, and all I could think about was what those test results would reveal. and what I'd do once I knew. Dad, Diana's been worried about you. Come home now, honey. The pot roast is getting cold, and I made your favorite gravy. Stop being stubborn, Dad. You're upsetting Diana. Every message twisted my stomach tighter. My hands trembled as I powered off my phone, unwilling to endure another wave of their manipulation. Anna Matthews, a voice called. I glanced up to see Olivia's aunt standing beside a doctor I didn't recognize, both wearing serious expressions. We need to go over your test results, the doctor said, guiding us into a private room. I'm Dr. Martinez, head of toxicology. What your blood work shows is alarming. He pulled up a chart on his computer. Your tests reveal high levels of thallium, a dangerous, heavy metal. It's known as the poisoner's poison, because it has no taste or smell, and its symptoms mimic other illnesses. Thallium is found in rat poison, but it's tightly regulated. To reach these levels, someone would have to obtain it intentionally and give it to you repeatedly. My chest tightened. Dr. Martinez leaned forward. Anna, is there anyone who might want to hurt you? Before I could reply, the door swung open and a police detective entered with 2 uniformed officers. I'm Detective Sarah Torres, she said, flashing her badge. The hospital contacted us after seeing your results. We have questions. The next hour blurred together. I told them about the strange illnesses that began after Diana moved in. How it only happened after eating her food. The trust fund I would receive in 6 months. Detective Torres recorded every word while her partner scribbled notes. We've seen this pattern before, she said darkly. Slow poisoning, gaslighting, and a financial motive. Your father's new wife matches the profile. But my dad. I started, tears breaking free. He may be under her influence, she replied gently. Or he could be involved. We'll investigate both angles. Just then my phone rang. Dad's name lit the screen. Detective Torres gestured for me to answer, and put it on speaker. Anna, where are you? His voice was sharp. Diana's been cooking all day. You're being incredibly rude. I'm at the hospital, I said, my voice unsteady. Getting blood tests. For heaven's sake, not this drama again. Diana told me you're just jealous. Come home now. Or what, Dad? My anger gave me strength. Or you'll let her poison me again? Silence. Then Diana's voice in the background. Robert, she's being ridiculous. I'd never. They found thallium. I cut in. The police are here. A clatter echoed through the phone, followed by her muffled hiss. They can't prove anything. Robert, tell them. Detective Torres took the phone. Mr. Matthews, this is Detective Torres with Metro PD. Stay where you are. Officers are on their way. She ended the call and turned to me. You'll remain here overnight for treatment and observation. We'll have officers stationed outside your door. What happens next? I asked, still reeling. We'll search your home. If we find thallium, Diana will be arrested. We'll also assess your father's involvement. Olivia, silent until now, spoke softly. She can stay with us when she's discharged. My mom already agreed. That's good. Torres nodded. You'll need a safe place. An hour later, my phone buzzed with a text from our neighbor. Police are at your house. Diana tried to run. They caught her at the end of the street. Relief didn't come, only exhaustion. I was exhausted, sick of being ill, sick of being dismissed, and sick of having to fight for my own survival inside my own home. Rest now, Olivia's aunt murmured, adjusting my fore. You're safe. But lying there in the hospital bed, watching uniformed officers take their posts outside my door, I couldn't help but wonder, was I truly safe? How had my life turned into something straight out of a crime drama? And what would happen when I eventually had to face my father? The man who had chosen his new wife's word over mine, who watched me waste away and called it theatrics. Could any lab test heal that kind of betrayal? The medication began to dull my thoughts, and as sleep crept in, I caught Detective Torres's voice in the hallway. Start with the kitchen. Focus on the teas, the powdered supplements, and check the smoothie in the travel mug by the sink. I've got a feeling we'll find exactly what we need. 3 days later, I sat in her office, staring at the evidence photos laid out before me. The search had uncovered everything. packets of thallium hidden among Diana's specialties, traces of poison in her protein powder, and detailed dosage notes in her diary. She was deliberate, Torres explained. Small doses at first, gradually increasing. Her notes show she planned to give you a fatal amount on your birthday, 3 weeks from now. My stomach twisted. And my dad? I asked. Torres sighed. Willfully blind. We found nothing proving he knew. He'll face charges for child endangerment and neglect, but not attempted murder like Diana. I felt hollow. My father was being held in a separate facility from her, both denied bail. My phone was clogged with his voicemails, ranging from fury to pleading, but I hadn't played a single one. There's more, Torres continued, pulling another document from the stack. On Diana's computer, we found searches about your mother's death 3 years ago. I snapped to attention. What? She looked up your mother's symptoms before her accident. We've reopened that case. The realization slammed into me. Had she been circling us even before marrying my dad? Was Mom's death ever an accident? The DA's offered her a deal, Torres said. If she cooperates in your mother's case, they'll recommend a lighter sentence for what she did to you. I stood abruptly, needing to move. I can't think about that now. You don't have to, she said gently. Focus on recovering. Your thallium levels are coming down, but you'll need ongoing care. For now, I was staying with Olivia's family, my safe haven. Her mother, a family court attorney, was helping me file for emancipation. My mother's trust fund would cover college and beyond. That evening in their backyard, my phone rang, an unfamiliar number. Olivia's eyes met mine. It's your dad. Answer. He can't hurt you anymore. Hands trembling, I picked up. Anna, his voice cracked. Princess, I'm so sorry. I should have listened. I should have protected you. Like you protected Mom? I said, my tone icy. His sharp inhale told me I'd struck deep. What are you talking about? The police are reopening Mom's case. Did you know Diana back then? Did you know what she did? No, he insisted. I met her at a grief group 6 months before we married. She helped me after losing your mother. She helped herself to her life, I corrected. And then she tried to take mine. Silence stretched between us, heavy and accusing. I failed you, he whispered at last. I failed both of you. Yes, you did. My voice was steady. Goodbye, Dad. I hung up, strangely lighter. Olivia squeezed my hand, and together we watched the sun dip below the horizon. 6 months later, I stood in court as Diana was sentenced. She'd taken the DA's offer, admitting everything, including her part in my mother's death. She had stalked us for years, positioning herself to replace my mom, and eventually me. Dad got 5 years for child endangerment. Diana received 25 to life. Neither felt long enough, but it was done. I turned 18 a week later, inheriting both the trust and the family home. The first thing I did was hire a hazmat crew to scrub the kitchen. The second was to start therapy. Olivia's family helped me move back, and little by little, the house began to feel safe. I replaced her poisonous teas with my own herbs, learned to cook nourishing meals, and rediscovered joy in food that healed instead of harmed. 1 year later, I was in my kitchen making dinner for Olivia and her family. The ones who believed me, shielded me, and helped rebuild my life. On the fridge hung my acceptance letter to the State University's Forensic Science program. To new beginnings, Olivia's mom toasted. And to believing women when they say something's wrong, Olivia added. I raised my glass. To truth, no matter how bitter it tastes. That night, I wrote the final line in my journal. Mom, I hope you're proud. I survived what killed you. I uncovered the truth. And I'll spend my life making sure no other daughter has to fight this hard to be believed. The bitterness of betrayal would never completely fade, but I'd turned it into fuel. Fuel to protect others and to trust myself. Because sometimes the most dangerous poison isn't in our food. It's in the people who make us question our own reality. I was finally free. And more than that, I was alive. That was the sweetest revenge.